Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. A lot going on in boxing, but in particular with the lightweight division, who's the best 135-pounder? See, that's the question. Although Devin Haney, he's the top dog, got all the belts. But although that he's the undisputed champion, it doesn't necessarily mean that he's the best fighter in that division. But as of right now, we've got to endorse him, okay? Because he is special. But one thing that we're not going to know for sure, as far as who's the best out of the bunch, until we have something akin to like a round-robin tournament, which is kind of going on right now. These guys, at the end of the day, these guys have to fight each other to get clarity. Same thing we saw with Thurman, Porter, and Danny Garcia. Oh boy, you have to excuse me, man. After I do this video, I'm going to go lay down. I've been running hard since this morning, man. My sons are doing strength and conditioning, weight training. We did basketball training. And I've been working with this kid who's getting bullied, helping him learn to throw just straight punches and get his confidence up. So, like right now, after this video, I'm going to go lay down, man. I'm tired. And it's hot out here. But back to what I was saying. We're not really going to know who is the top dog. We can say Devin Haney, we can crown him because he has the belts. But until they get that round robin, they got to fight. They got to fight each other. It's like with the 147-pound division. Thurman, Garcia, Porter were getting it on. Then it was a bit of obscurity. Thurman was the top dog, disappeared. Crawford started bubbling up. What's his name? Spence started bubbling up. All this is happening while Thurman's kind of off the scene. Then you start to see Garcia and Spence, Spence and Porter, Crawford and Porter. But we still haven't seen Thurman mix it up with any of those guys. So to me, that round robin is incomplete. But I think it's okay to go ahead and say the two best in that division will be Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence, because the inactivity of Thurman, although he hasn't been part of that. But what we're seeing that's hopefully is going to start happening now here at the lightweight division is the same thing. There's some great talent there. They need to start fighting. But my number 5 out of this list is going to be Ryan Garcia. I'm going to go ahead and make him my number 5. And that's because although he had a fight recently and he won the fight, before that, pulling out of fights, all the ups and downs of his personal life, he's in between trainers. He's not looking that special in the ring, in my opinion. We know he's talented, but I think that change to the trainer, Joe Goosen, I think that's hurt Ryan Garcia. Now he has a fight coming up, and you can't fault him. A lot of fighters are going in there against low threat opponents, but he is fighting Javier Fortuna, former title holder, Dominican. He'll come and fight. He'll fight dirty. But I just think Fortuna is kind of at the end of his rope. But you just never know. He has a big left hand. He'll fight dirty. And he will definitely try to win the fight. And Ryan Garcia, he gets underestimated. But Ryan Garcia can fight. But if he has his chin in the air, I just think it's a matter of time before he gets clipped. But I'm not downplaying his talent. I just think he was better with Eddie Reynoso. And he really doesn't have any signature wins for us to say, for me to bubble him up over any of these guys in this list right here. But it's kind of difficult to determine where he fits in, or even if he fits in. Because if I had Teofimo in this list, I would have Teofimo. Ryan would be number 6, Teofimo would be number 5. Because Teofimo has gotten there and banged and fought top opposition, and he's held titles, and had a bad fight against Kambosos, but Teofimo can still fight. But he said he's going to be going up to 140, so we're not even going to mention him. But Ryan Garcia has time. He has time to come back, get a few fights in, and then we can go from there. My number 4 would be Kambosos. Although he lost to Devin Haney, Kambosos, what he's done on the road, just keeps winning, kept winning and winning. Went up there, got into a little scuffle there with Teofimo. That was Teofimo's fight to win. Doesn't matter what happened. Kambosos did what he had to do. He's a counterpuncher. He sits back. He waits for you to attack. He exploits you. This man, I call him the Australian Manny Pacquiao. That time he spent with Manny Pacquiao served him good. But he just got into a situation with Devin Haney, and he wasn't able to keep that momentum going that he gained with the win over Teofimo. And that was an outstanding win. Dropped him, outworked him the entire fight. Got in a little trouble late in the fight, but he showed a champion's mentality, a champion's heart. He found a way to win. He got in there with Haney. He had one maybe round where he won. When he did let his hands go, he looked okay, but he just didn't do it enough. So as a result, he has the one big win over Teofimo, which was the top dog at the time. He clipped Mickey Bay. But outside of that, he really doesn't have any huge wins. But what he did with Teofimo was huge. The fact that he was in there fighting with Haney, another big name. You gotta, for me, I have to make him the number 4. And out of all these guys, again, I don't know who would win if they fight, because styles make fights. But for me, Kambosos would be my number 4. The number 3, it's gonna be a little bit tough, man. It is. It's gonna be a little bit tough to see who's going to be the number 3. But for me, I'm going to make the number 3 Lomachenko. I'm going to make Lomachenko the number 3. Now, this is the thing, right? I'll never understand why Lomachenko only threw 50 punches in the first 6 rounds, 6 to 7 rounds, with his unanimous loss to Teofimo. I just can't understand why he did that. That was a major setback. It hurt his reputation, hurt his career, actually just tarnished his image. He looked less than normal. Like he wasn't there. Some could say it's what Teofimo was dishing out. I don't know, but I know when Lomachenko flipped the switch and decided to get active, he started winning rounds, and if he would have done that 2 rounds early, he would have won the fight. But, it is what it is when it comes to Lomachenko. He lost the fight, and he could go on and say, he had a shoulder injury. He did go on to have surgery, so it's legit. Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather type situation. But I personally think he just had a little too much respect for Lopez and what Lopez was bringing to the ring, and he just couldn't get comfortable. But then again, Lomachenko has like a boxing kind of wizardry, you know what I'm saying? And some would say, well, Teofimo was able to cope with it. I would say Vasily Lomachenko didn't bring it out until after the 6th or 7th round. And when he did, you could see Teofimo was struggling. He was getting tattooed in the later half of that fight. But at the end of the day, man, the Comey win for Lomachenko, the Comey win for Teofimo were good wins. Teofimo beat Lomachenko was a huge win. So Lomachenko's been a bit inactive. We know what he has going on back home. But I still think Lomachenko, him coming back, getting in there, mixing it up, I give him a real good chance to be back on top. I actually think that, I keep saying in the videos, and, I'm joking, but I do think that the lightweight division's cursed. I think Lomachenko, he gave that fight away against Teofimo. It is what it is. And he went in there against Comey, and what he did to Comey, because to me, Lomachenko doesn't like he hits that hard. But he obviously hits hard. And what he did to Comey, it was mind-blowing watching that. But anyway, he hasn't come back. But I think when he does come back, he's right back in the mix. But as of right now, I had to make him the number 3. I got to make him the number 3. Now, this doesn't mean I think that other people are going to beat him. It's like with Ryan Garcia. It doesn't mean I think Devin Haney beats him, even though I do. But they need to mix it up. But this is just where I'm racking stacking them. So Ryan's number 5, Kambosos number 4, Vasili's number 3. He needs to get back and get active. We understand what he has going on at home in Ukraine, but everyone else is active and moving forward. He's just kind of in a holding pattern. Then the number 2 is Tank Davis. I don't need to explain why Tank Davis is the number 2. If I got to explain why Gervonta Davis is the number 2, then something's wrong with you watching this video. But all the tools are there when it comes to Gervonta Davis. Natural gifts, ring IQ, this ridiculous power that he has, and he's delivering the wins over top opposition, man. You can say what you want, but he defeated Pitbull Cruz. He did, and he came back. He got in there with Rolly Romero, and the fight was competitive. You could say he was setting him up. Look, Rolly can fight. Give Rolly his credit. But he got in there and a little bit tough, figured it out, got a shot off, got him out of there. So Tank has consistently been putting on good performances. When he fought Leo Santa Cruz, the backstory doesn't matter. He fought him, he beat him, knocked him out. He fought Mario Barrios, the backstory doesn't matter. He fought him, he knocked him out. Came out there, fought Pitbull Cruz, very competitive fight, got the win. Fought Rolly Romero, knocked him out. So Tank is that guy who, in my opinion, he's a problem for anyone who he faces. But I can't make him the number 1 because at the end of the day, the belts matter, the resume matters. Devin Haney has been stepping up his opposition in the last 4 fights. He's proven that there's something special about him. He looks simple. It looks like he's nothing a boxer needs to worry about. But when he gets in the ring, he makes all of his opponents look the same. He controls the fight. He dictates what punches they can get off, what punches they can't. That is hard to do. Case in point, what just happened this weekend? He went over there and look what he did to Kambosos. Absolutely amazing performance. Absolutely amazing. And I've been talking about that, but I'm not going to keep going on and on. But you look at what he did when he got there with Jorge Linares. That's a fight I didn't expect him to win. He did the same thing. Jojo Diaz. Knew that was a tough fight, expected him to win. But there were some moments where Diaz had some success. The main contrast between Devin Haney and those fights and Devin Haney with Kambosos, Devin Haney decided, I'm not going to worry about what people are saying about my punching power. I'm going to fight. I'm going to box smart, tie him up, get across the finish line, get these belts, and head home to Las Vegas. And that's what Devin Haney did. That's what he did, man. He just has this special skill set to deliver clear decision victories. A special skill set to deliver clear decision victories. That's Devin Haney. A special skill set to deliver clear decision victories. And that's what he's consistently done since he's become a professional boxer. And we have to respect that. It's not like he's winning every round, but it's not like he's dominating fighters. And when I say dominating, like he's outboxing, he's dominating, but not to the point to where he's getting 3 and 4 knockdowns in a fight. That kind of dominating. Now that's that kind of dominating. That's not what's happening here. It's just that unique skill set, man, which he's able to control his opposition, man. And it just doesn't matter how stiff the opposition is, and some of his opposition is pretty impressive in the ring. They just can't figure him out. And Devin Haney just goes on to do great things. But when you see him getting in there with a heavy hitter like a Davis, although Haney keeps getting better and better, you got to wonder just how he would fare in those fights. So I would have to give him a chance as he continues to get better. Devin Haney, I would have to give him a chance to really make life miserable for all these fighters. But then again, they have to fight. There needs to be a round robin. There needs to be something like Andre Ward did, where there was a Super 6. He's 168 pounds, and he bubbled to the top. If they can have something like that here, it would be outstanding. But Devin has all the belts. But I think if he was to relinquish the belts and then he decided to go do something different at 140, I think that another Super 6 tournament for all the belts would be amazing. I think that would be amazing. Boxing needs that, but it's gotta be the guys who are the elite, not people falling out, people getting injured. Nah, man, get the elite and have them get in there and have them mix it up, and just how the dust settles. See who emerges as the top dog, big fish, or whatever you want to call him. And I think that would be very interesting. But for me, Devin Haney's the man. Doesn't mean I think he beats Tank. Doesn't think think he beats Vasily Lomachenko. Doesn't think I think he go in and beats Ryan Garcia. Remember, he and Ryan are 3-3 in the amateurs. I definitely think he beats Kambosos. But when you look at this, I can see Lomachenko beating everybody on this list. I can see Tank knocking everybody out on this list. I can see Devin Haney controlling the impressive opposition with his boxing ability. I don't see Kambosos. He already lost to Devin Haney. I don't see him beating Lomachenko. I definitely don't see him beating Tank. But I think that would be a more competitive fight, Kambosos and Tank. Although Tank can box, Tank would stand there and try to get some shots off, and that would give Kambosos a chance to get his counterpunching off. But then Ryan Garcia, extremely talented, man. But him leaving Eddie Reynoso, I'm just not sure what Ryan Garcia is going to bring to the table. No, he has speed, he has a big left hook. But if he gets in there with Kambosos, Ryan Garcia may get himself in some trouble because Kambosos can fight. So that's a toss-up. So actually, Garcia and Kambosos, their positions are interchangeable, but I'm going to leave it the way I have it. So Garcia's number 5, Kambosos number 4. To me, Lomachenko is number 3. Tank is number 2, and Haney's the big dog. Got a lot of other names out there, 135. Rolly's still a name that we need to pay attention to. A couple other fighters out there, but this is really, to me, these are the top 5, and we're going to see what happens over the next 2 years. If they stay here, Haney may move up. Teofimo already jumped ship. Can't blame those guys, man. Look at Danny Garcia. Was at 140, went to 147. Now he's at 154. So, these guys are killing themselves to make the weight. And after a certain point in time, your body just says, I can't do it no more. And then it's time to move up. So I think Devin Haney has a couple more fights in him, but probably time for him to go ahead and move up in the next couple fights. And then we'll see what happens. But right now, Devin Haney's the top dog. He's got all the belts. It's only right. I'm not doing this based on how I think is the best fighter. This is just right now in the division. It's taking in who's the best fighter, also looking at resumes, looking at belts, looking at the risks they're taking, everything. And Devin Haney is the guy who is taking the most risk, in my opinion. The least amount of risk, probably Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis. Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis. Because for Tank Davis, it's almost expected for him to do... I'm going to say this, right? Rolly Romero, Tank got the wins. Doesn't matter, right? Tank got the wins. But what the stuff Rolly Romero was saying, if he was telling the truth, Tank did kind of, put those fighters at a disadvantage. Pedraza, Leo Santa Cruz, Mario Barrios, guys getting fights on last minute, weight drain, having to soak in salt baths and all this other stuff. If those kind of things are really happening, you're giving yourself an advantage. And I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying we got to look at all that. Tank went there against Pitbull Cruz. He won, but I mean, I would like to see Tank in his next fight. Well, he beat Rolly Romero, right? But his next fight, I would really like to see Tank get it on with Ryan Garcia if Ryan well, he should beat Fortuna. I want to see that because Ryan Garcia is a threat still. Not sure about his style with Joe Goosen, but I would love to see Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia. That would be a very good fight. I got Tank winning, but Ryan Garcia is going to fight him, and it's going to be entertaining. But that would be a good fight. Then we get the round robin going, and then we'll see what happens with Lomachenko coming back and what he's going to do. But Devin Haney, the top dog, give that man his credit. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm about to do another video, man. Y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans. I appreciate the support. Top dog, Devin Haney. Big Fish, Earl Spence. Probably get scaled by Crawford, but we'll see what happens. That being said, y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.